Hi, you're listening to WhisperCracks. This one's not a story about betrayal. Not really. It's about how lies can destroy love, and how sometimes, if you're lucky, the truth still finds a way back to you. When I was 19, I cheated. It was my first relationship, and I made a terrible mistake. I don't have excuses for it. I could tell you stories about how young I was, how bad things were, but in the end, I still crossed a line. It happened once, and I swore to myself I would never ever do it again. Years passed, I changed, I grew up, I learned how to love with honesty. And then, I met Alice. I was 23. She was everything you hope for when you've already given up on the one. Funny, smart, so alive. The kind of person that lights up a room just by being there. From the second time we met, it just clicked. We started dating exclusively right away, and because I'd promised myself to always be honest, I told her about my past, about that one time I cheated. She asked a few questions, listened carefully, and then said something that I'll never forget. You're not the same person anymore. And for a while, she made me believe that was true. We were happy, stupidly happy. We'd talk for hours, stay up late watching old shows, laugh until our stomachs hurt. But there was something I didn't see. Her friends. At first, they were friendly, the kind of group that welcomes you with open arms. But as time went on, something changed. They started acting distant, cold, like I was an outsider intruding on their little world. Then one day, almost out of nowhere, everything flipped. They became warm again, too warm, smiling, hugging, touching my shoulder when they talked. I didn't question it. I thought maybe I'd finally been accepted. I couldn't have been more wrong. One afternoon, Samantha, Alice's best friend, texted me. She said she wanted to talk. Samantha and I were always friendly. I even helped her when her ex cheated on her. She said she wanted to understand things from the cheater's perspective. It wasn't weird at the time. I thought she just needed someone who could listen. We met at a park. It was quiet, windy. I remember the sound of leaves scraping against the path, and her looking nervous, like she had something important to say. But before I could ask what was wrong, she stepped closer, grabbed my face, and kissed me, hard. I froze. I pushed her away, instantly. She stammered out something about being sorry, said she didn't mean for this to happen, and then just ran. I was left standing there like an idiot, heart pounding, wondering what the hell just happened. I didn't even call Alice right away. I needed to process. But when I finally did, I found out that Samantha had already called her. And according to her story, I had kissed her. She said I grabbed her and wouldn't stop, that she had to push me off and run. I can't even describe what it feels like to be accused of something like that, especially when it's by someone you love. I tried to explain. I begged her to believe me, but she didn't. Her voice cracked over the phone as she told me it was over. I can't do this, she said. Not after what you did. And then the line went dead. No chance to explain. No goodbye, just silence. I spent the next few months in hell. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. My friends tried to drag me out, but all I wanted to do was stay home and stare at the ceiling, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. Eventually, I stopped trying to meet new people, stopped answering texts. I convinced myself that maybe this was karma, the universe getting back at me for what I did years ago. And then, 2 years later, I got an email. It was from Alice. I opened it, expecting anger, maybe closure. Instead, it started with, "I'm so sorry." She told me she'd just learned the truth, that Samantha and the rest of her friends had planned the entire thing. They didn't like how close we'd become. They thought she was losing herself in me. So they made up a story to break us apart. Samantha volunteered to do it, said she'd be the one to kiss me because she thought it would be the most believable. And it worked. Alice believed them all. Her childhood friends, people she'd known for 20 years, over me. In the email, she said she cried for days after finding out, that she'd never stopped loving me, but she hated herself too much to try and reach out sooner. She said she hasn't dated anyone since and begged me to meet her. "Just once," she wrote, "so I can apologize to you face to face." For a year after we broke up, I dreamed about that moment, about her finding out the truth, about us getting back together. But now, staring at that email, I didn't feel anything. No joy, no anger, no spark, just emptiness. Still, I agreed to meet. Not for me, but for her. When I saw her again, after 2 years, I didn't recognize her at first. She looked the same, but her eyes,